When I was in hospital, and I'm sure the majority of people have had the surgery, all they want to do is go home. So when do you make the decision that somebody can go home after surgery? What are the things that um, a patient or a person who's had a total laryngectomy would have to achieve in order for them to be able to go home? What is the decision process?
Well, the decision process in this case depends on 2 or 3 different things. First of all, you have to be sure that your patient is able in swallowing, and it is able in swallowing because it's very easy, the swallowing after the total laryngectomy, but you must be sure that there is no fistula, that is the early complication, so that your closure on the endusophageal part of the pharynx and the esophageal cervical part is tight, so there is no passage of liquid. So when you are sure that this happens, this is the first most important thing. The second point is, this depends on the protocol hospital by hospital, but your tracheostoma is still remain opened, because you can go home directly with an adhesives, and this is the
Yeah.
best way to go home, or you can go home with a tube, with a light tube that maintain opened your trachea. But 2 3 days before the discharge, we must be sure that the tracheostoma can be left opened
Yeah.
without fistula. If this happened for 2 3 days, this is okay to go home without any kind of problem. So diameter of the tracheostoma, swallowing, and management of both the voice prosthesis and the tracheostoma.
Yeah.
This aspect it comes very soon, because in the first postoperative days, 2 3 so second or third postoperative days, we start in rehabilitate the patient, in teach the patient how to manage the stoma, how to manage the voice prosthesis. So more or less the discharge is in day 10, day 12, day 13. So they have 8 10 days of training with speech therapists, with nurses, to be sure that they can manage tracheostoma, so I mean aspiration, and management of the voice prosthesis. These are the 2 things that you must be able in managing, because the swallowing go by itself, so you don't need anything to swallow. And the only thing is you have to be sure that there is no fistula, as I said before. So you in 10, 12 post-op day, you are surely able in go home. Obviously, if you don't have all the early complications that you can have after any kind of surgery, if everything goes well, this is the perfect discharge time.
Great. And listen, I would like to add to your comment earlier when you said that when you wake up, you breathe easier after you've had your surgery. I totally agree with you because I did. But I would also add to that as well is that my voice after my surgery was better than it was before surgery because I had laser treatment. So therefore my vocal cords had a gap in it because of the laser. And so my voice was a whisper
Yes,
before surgery.
this is what I said mostly, the most of the case to my patient, that your voice will be better than your
Yeah,
last time voice. One
yeah,
patient said to me a few months ago, we were discussing about this aspect. Also, he had before laser treatment twice.
yeah,
So he arrived soon in a T4. It's similar to your history. So we decided to do total laryngectomy, and I said him, well, you are having, I'm sure that you are having a voice better than I listened in the last 3 4 months from
yeah,
you. And he said, yes, but that was my voice, even if worse. And I said, also this, the new one, is
yeah.
your
Exactly.
voice.
Exactly.
This is your voice. It's not my voice. It's your voice.
Yeah,
But it's better than before. So it's not the prosthesis that make the voice. Is the pharynx of the patient that make the voice, as in the past was the larynx, the length, the width of the vocal cord that create the voice of that single patient. So in the same time is the pharynx tissue, in this case, that create the voice. The voice prosthesis is only a passage, a way to permit the air to go through that point.
Yeah.
It is always your voice. It's not my voice or the voice of the prosthesis. It's not something registered or metallic.
Yeah. No, I absolutely totally agree. And you know, when my speech therapist says, "We'll need to teach you how to talk," I went, all I said was, "What would you like me to say?" And I did.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah, so for me, it was, yeah, and absolutely, you know, yeah, if I could have had the laryngectomy earlier in my journey, I probably would have done, if I knew what the outcome was going to be.
Yeah.
If that makes sense, rather than the laser and the radiation, you know, because my life after total laryngectomy is better than it was before my total laryngectomy.